writing your conclusion. Now, as you can see here, our conclusion has 3 big parts. Now, the first part is restating your thesis. Now, do not get that confused with copying. There's no copying here. You're scholars. Scholars don't copy stuff. What you're going to do is you're going to take your claim, you're going to look at your claim, you're going to look at your reason, the thing that you talk about in your body paragraph, and you're going to remind us just, what did we talk about in our body paragraph again? Oh yeah, this is what we just talked about. This is for organization. When we start out our conclusion paragraph by restating our thesis, we're organizing our thoughts on the page. That's why we do that. But we do not copy our thesis word for word. We're going to take our thesis and we're going to find a new way to say the same thing. So you can use thesaurus.com as a resource for this, for example, but you're going to find a new way to remind us what we heard about in your body paragraph. That is the goal of the first sentence where you restate your thesis. After you restate your thesis, then you talk about yourself. Now, throughout this entire process, I've been saying, you can't use the word I. This is an academic paper. You can't use the word I. What you doing? However, this is the exception. When you talk about your life, you have to use the word I because you're talking about you. So after you restate your thesis, then you move on to the real world connection. How does this connect to your life? If you're showing us the change in character for prompt A or the theme, then this will be really easy for you, because if you're talking about, for example, if your thesis is the cowardly lion becomes courageous, then when you restate your thesis, you're going to be able to say, in my life, I've had to be courageous. This is when I've had to be courageous. So clearly this is something that matters in the real world because I've dealt with it in my life. And then after that, the global impact. The global impact is, why should other people care? And does this impact your city? Does it impact your state? Who does this impact outside of your own life? So this is where you say, courage can save lives. For example, you can talk about, give us an example of instances where having courage could save a life or change a life. Here's where you talk about yourself, your life. Now, don't just talk about it in general. This is a good, important thing. In my life, I have blank. Talk about your own life. Talk about specific things that have happened in your own life. And here, you can pick an event from the world. However, you need to focus it in on an event. Don't just ramble on. Talk about a specific